What is good in the hood? Recently I was on whatever platforms that I was on. I'm not going to get specific about it, but it was an article that I came across about a lot of African American black people's terminology, the way we speak, our fashion, our culture. A lot of it has derived from the LGBT community. And I would just like to say that the LGBT community has had a lot of they gave a lot to the culture. They put a lot in the culture. I mean, we get a lot of music from the LGBT community. House music, one of them. I love house music. And I love them for that, because they are very, very, very creative, super creative. And big up to them for being a creative people, so imaginative, wonderful, fun people, and naturally, they are. And, they got their issues, problems, like every human being does, whatever, so forth. But the article, getting back to the article was saying that they came up with a lot of terminologies, and one of the terminologies was, they said cis. So I'm like, cis? I'm like, no. The LGBT community, the gay community, did not coin the term cis. Cis actually is like a pro-black term going way back in the 70s and 80s from the Panthers in California all the way to Philly to New York. Like that was a term that was used more so for the black power community, not the gay community. From recent years, the gay community started using it within their community, and they would call each other cis, and then cis turned into sus. I'm still trying to figure out what sus means, but cis, they'll say, yes sis, or no sis, like in other words, no boo, no sis, in a sarcastic way, or yes sis in like a nice applauding complimentary way. So cis, short for sister, is what the black community would use back in, like I said, the 80s, 70s, 90s, early 90s, with a lot of the black awareness type of rap music was out in the late 80s, early 90s. A lot of them used the term sister and cis. You run into people in the cities across America, Philly, New York, Oakland, LA, wherever, and it'll be people down there, black sisters, selling merchandise, and they'll be like, hey, check this out, sis, check this out, sister. That's how they would approach you. That's what they would say. So I don't like that they're trying to turn it around and say that we derived certain things from the LGBT community, when really a lot of things are derived from just black women, and then the LGBT community takes it and they put their flip on it, and sort of makes it their own. But a lot of it does come from black women, black straight women. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't agree with a lot of the things going on online. That's why I have not been online. It's just too frustrating and to deal with it. I like to deal with people in real life, and a lot of this stuff that you see going online, people are not going to say that to people in real life. They just aren't. So I realized that a few years ago. Like, even things that I would express my frustrations about, I'm not going to walk up to somebody and say that to somebody's face, because it's unrealistic. You know what I'm saying? It's unrealistic. You know, I could go out there and I can do whatever I can do for my people in a positive way, you know, but a lot of this stuff, it just gets just twisted around. And this is not real life. It's really not, you know. So I just try to like stay away from it. But I just, you know, just was wondering. It was just something that I was wondering. I had to say something about, like, no, sister. The terminology and what it's used for did not derive from gay men or the LGBT community. It's been around, and it's been it started in the term like it is. Like, I'm not talking about white people and, oh, you are my sister, hippies, or white people of religion and God. None of that. That doesn't have anything to do with the term sister. What I'm speaking of the term sister, sis, in the black community. It started with black women. Black women. Peace to everybody. And until next time, this angry black female.